It's the podcast, the Custard TV one, if you're wondering. I'm Luke, editor and runner of the podcast and the website. Gary's in the London area. Gary is periscoping.
Oh, yeah.
What does that actually mean? Because I can't watch it because it'll wreck the sound, but it just means that people can see you.
Yeah, you can watch me doing a podcast.
This is a Wednesday as we record as well, and in mid-afternoon, because normally we record sort of after 6:30 on a Thursday, fact fans. And what is it you're doing at 5 o'clock?
None of your business? No, I'm going to see my parents, that's all.
I was hoping it was something top secret there.
Like a date with a woman or something, or a...
Well, I think going to see your parents is more achievable.
Luke.
Hey everybody, here's our star!
Gary.
I'd never heard of him before today.
And Matt.
He's a professional.
Talking telly.
Try it, just for 1 week. Just try the program for 1 week.
This is the Custard TV Podcast.
ITV have announced some drama cancellations and some drama renewals. Grantchester, the Wednesday night Bore Fest on ITV, will return for the third series. Also, ITV have axed their first and last ever Western, Jericho. And also staying with ITV, Broadchurch 3 is going to film in the summer. And it's going to be the final series, and it's going to be a whole new crime, this time based upon sexual assault. The new cast members
By the way, I just did a salute to Periscope. That wasn't me saluting sexual assault.
Charlie Higston, Julie Hesmontal of Coronation Street and more recently Happy Valley, and also Sarah Parish of W1A and Cutting It and all the things she's in. They'll be joining it. It is the third and final series, and it will reunite Chris Chibnall, the writer, with Olivia Colman and David Tennant. Of course we'll watch the third series. I just don't have massive great hopes, really. But of course we'll watch it.
For anything connected with Broadchurch anymore. So.
Yeah.
Hello.
Gary's live on the internet with his
I'm
face.
periscoping. Oh, there's someone from a foreign country. Wow, you don't look like I thought you did. I don't know if
what?
That's a compliment.
I don't think anyone's ever...
No.
Yeah.
There's someone typing in what looks like Russian.
How can I see Gary?
We're international.
Well, you can't really, because it'll screw up the audio for us. But
can I see his face but not listen to his words?
Just go on his Twitter feed and
I'm
you'll
doing
see
it.
I'm getting annoyed at you now, if I'm honest.
Which one of us?
Matt.
Okay.
Why?
He turns up late.
He's just been here.
He turns up late. He looks like a right scruff. He hasn't even brushed his hair.
Hold on.
And now he's getting arsed.
Someone's asked. 2 reviews. I watched 2 new American shows that were on this week. First of all, I watched Colony, which was on Sky One. Now, this features Josh from Lost and Sarah Wayne Callis from Prison Break and The Walking Dead.
And how many of the cast do wear colostomy bags?
No, there's no medical equipment
I'm
being
just playing Gary now. Is there a mute button? Oh yeah.
I hope so. I would have used the mute button ages ago.
It is muted, I think.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So they are basically living in like a futuristic... I don't know if it's too futuristic, but a world that's under lockdown.
He just waved at me.
I know, I just waved. Hi, Matt.
Hi.
Could you do jumping jacks while you do Gary Goes West?
You could juggle during Gary Goes West if you want.
Yeah. Get your balls out.
Pardon me. Colony's very good. It's basically a sci-fi show where it looks as if much of the world has been taken over by a shadowy organisation. They have the streets on lockdown after curfew. Oh, the plug's just fallen down. Someone said I was Seth Rogen. Wow. It's a dysfunction. Not a dysfunctional family. They are a disjointed family. One of the children is living in another area, got separated, and the father, Josh from Lost, is sort of part of an organisation that does runs into an area that is in sort of demilitarised zone to try and find his son. He gets caught, and he gets turned into a government agent to try and find people who are part of this resistance. Now, it turns out that at the end of this episode, you realise that Sarah Wayne Callis is part of the resistance. So they're spying on each other. Very good show. I really liked it. The only thing I didn't like was one of the doctors from House, the older one who was the plastic surgeon. He's the bad guy, and he's not really that good a bad guy. And the second show is based on a Stephen King novel called 11/22/63. Now, conspiracy theory geeks amongst you will know that that's the day that JFK was shot. And this is a time-travelling show starring
Come on.
Oh, no. Scott Joplin? No.
Scott Joplin? I think. Is that Genesis' son?
James Franco. Someone, thank you, Jordan Gallagher. James Franco.
Okay, we need to do Periscope every week so that people can see.
That's right.
How many people are watching you right now, Gary? How many?
There were
Not
as many
including
as
me.
12. There's now 5. But there were as many as 12. Someone else has just joined that 6.
Do 5 people normally watch you just chat in your flat of an
Well, I
of an
don't normally.
afternoon?
This is the first time I've done this, so.
I wonder if people are thinking, what's Michael Ball doing sitting around on his sofa? I thought he got that Radio 2 job.
Yeah, but he'd be home by this time.
Well,
that's true. Right. It's only on Sundays.
Yeah.
Anyway, this show that I've been trying to talk about for the last 5 minutes.
What's that called?
It's okay. It's a little bit convoluted. Basically, James Franco plays the lead. He gets dumped by his wife, and he decides to help a diner worker who has found a time portal back to 1962, and he wants to help him because he's dying, stop the assassination of President Kennedy. Okay, it sounds weird. It is a bit weird. But actually, if you're a JFK nut, which I have to admit I slightly am, and if you like the idea of time travel, then this is really good. James Franco is really good as the lead.
What are you laughing? What am I missing out on here, Matt?
Just
is
the
he
way
doing
he
like?
said, if you like the idea of time travelling. Like,
Yeah, if that is your bag.
Some people might go time travel too much for me.
I think what you should say is if you like sort of time travel fiction rather than you inviting people.
I think
to
we all
time
like
travel.
the idea of time travel.
Basically, watch this. It's quite good. I don't suggest that this would be accessible for anybody who doesn't like sci-fi or fantasy type stuff, because it is very... You have to watch it, you know what I mean? This is not a casual viewer show. Things that happen in this first episode, I'm fairly sure that you're going to talk about. And it goes into a lot of the JFK conspiracy. It goes into, a blooming lot of background and alternative theories about, who is involved, and things like that. But it is very good. I will be watching it. It's certainly up my street.
Also, I wanted to say, just as Matt brought up vinyl, one of the reasons we hated it was the involvement of Terence Winter, and he has subsequently left the series, so maybe it might cut.
So Winter is going.
Winter has passed.
I thought Winter was coming.
Yeah, no, that was the joke I was doing.
Ah.
But Luke doesn't watch Game of Thrones, so no.
Are you up to date, Matt, by the way, because we're going to have that?
Yeah, because it's the season 6 premiere soon, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, good. Yes, 2 weeks.
That sounds extra northern this week, doesn't it?
Premiere?
Yeah, it just sounds extra northern.
Dropping his H's from here.
Yeah.
There's no H's in that word.
What, apart from here? H?
Premiere. Premiere.
Premiere.
P-R-E-M-I-E-R-E. Not an H inside.
Now that's a feature for the end of the show. Spelling with Matt.
As I've been doing a bit of research on this, on your relationship.
No, you have not.
On your relationship, and actually,
don't call it that, please.
The 4-year anniversary actually passed because you did your first podcast with the debate podcast.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
But was it the 16th of April? We said was the first sort of podcast proper. The three of you. It was the first Custard TV Live.
Yeah.
So that's your official anniversary. I was going to do a bit of a Gary versus Luke, who can remember the most about the first.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Podcast.
I'd forgotten that the first one was a debate.
It was UK versus US, wasn't it?
You did that, and then you did Britain's Got Talent versus The Voice as well.
Yeah. And I was very keen on The Voice, as I seem to remember. When we first started, Gary and I were mass debaters. I think we did a lot of debate. We did a lot of debate podcasts, didn't we?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we did 3. I would say we were definitely mass debaters because we did 3.
Stop saying that.
Also, I believe Luke, you were doing them live from your bedroom. So I mean,
well, it was better than doing it on my own.
Periscope, you'll get kicked off.
Yeah. And before that, I did my debating on my own, so it was nice to, do that with somebody else.
We'll do it at the end. We'll do. I can think of at least 2 because I've listened to part of the podcast. But
I don't know where to find them. Are they on the Spreaker feed?
They were on the website.
I never go on the website. Okay.
let's start. I'm interested in this undercover to see how, because Gary's put his name down here, they fill in the gaps of the story, how they engineered the meeting between Nick and Maya, the Adrian Lester and Sophie Okonedo characters, his work as an undercover police officer in the drug squad, her work as a sort of civil rights lawyer, and how they sort of crossed paths initially before they met, if that makes sense. And also introducing a character played by Leanne Best, who's also in Line of Duty. So we've got...
Interesting question from Periscope. Do you think they should have used younger actors for 1996?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think they did a good job. But
yeah. I think Adrian Lester has got one of those... I don't think he's aged in 20 years, though, because I remember seeing... I don't know if you've seen this film, Gary, called Primary Colours.
I've heard of it, but not seen
political it. You should watch that. It might change your opinion of Adrian Lester, but that was about 20 years ago. Right, first of all, how far did you get on this?
I watched the whole episode, and I have
to
I have to say, this dragged it back for me. This should have been the first episode, in my opinion. This is what I said last week, was that there was too much unsaid and unpublished in that first episode. It was all over the place. This, as the first episode, for me, would have made much more sense. I understood the characters. I understood why they did what they did. I understood the motivation behind it. And, of course, the fact that he was the police officer.
I think they wanted that big sort of talking point with the execution and everything like that. I think that's why they had that in the first episode. I don't think you could have then had that as the second episode. I think they wanted a couple, the big twist at the end, but obviously, as I said last week, they spoilt it then in the trailer. But I like the introduction of the female police officer who was also undercover, although it was a little bit cliched that she got hooked on drugs. But I thought between this and Line of Duty, which we'll talk about in a minute, I think Leanne Best certainly has got sort of a good career ahead of her. I've not really been aware of her before, but...
There's a story in there. There's something in there. The fact that he's an undercover police officer who originally was supposed to be sort of like feeding back on what he's now wife. There's a story there that I want to see.
And I do like, I think the whole scene with the sort of the death in the prison cell and them sort of, in bed together and female police officer seeing the brutality, and she's obviously the witness. That's come forward.
He also told on her, didn't he? He went and told his superiors about her drug habit, or allegedly. You never heard him say the word. He said, "Don't let her know I was the one that told you." So, I really like this, and I will be watching the next one.
Line of Duty, episode 4, the Asda episode, as I'm redubbing.
Yes. I'm still rubbing my hands together that she's back.
She's brilliant in this. I did say to you earlier on the podcast how brilliant she was.
I'd love to hear that. You try and explain this episode, because it might take you the length of the podcast. Because there's so many twists and turns.
And just so many plots.
I did put on Twitter, I feel like I need to go back and watch Series 1, not let alone Series 2.
Well, basically, Craig Parkinson's dodgy, Neil Morrissey's got 2 phones, Martin Compson can't keep it in his pants and everyone doesn't trust him as a result. Craig Parkinson still acting dodgy, going around saying, I'll have that bit of evidence. No, I'll have that bit of evidence. Polly Walker and Adrian Dunbar getting on even though he's loyal to his now ex-wife. The sexual abuse storyline going on with the guy from Happy Valley coming into it as a retired vice police chief who might have something
thank God, that drove me mad. Thank you.
Lindsay Dent and Keeley Hawes coming out of prison, wanted to start a career again, ends up working as a cleaner in Asda. Find out that Tommy Hunter was involved with like a sort of similar grooming of young girls or something, and that's why he made it onto Danny's list. Keeley Hawes says this to Martin Compton while she's cleaning the floors at Asda. There's also something to do with her parole officer. Is that one of the plots?
Yeah, and the final one, dodgy Ted Hastings with his Masonic handshake.
Dodgy Ted Hastings. Yeah, no, I had actually forgotten about that one, but yeah.
This episode just had so many different layers. I mean, the beautiful line was when the scene where they're into where Lindsay Denton is making them apologise is just cringily good.
As a senior investigating officer, I acknowledge your feelings regarding your conviction.
Wrongful conviction, and you haven't actually said sorry. You require me to sign off that I accept your apology. I won't unless it comes from the officers who wronged me. You're out. What more do you want? An apology. Jesus Christ. Well, this isn't going very well at all, is it?
a senior investigating officer.